Hi everyone, Kira with Aixterior here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Aixterior account. Okay, so I'm here on the Aixterior website, which can be found under https://aixterior.com. And on the homepage, as you see here, we've got this nice splash screen. If you scroll down, you've got some more information about what kind of products Aixterior is offering, some more technical information, all that kind of nice stuff. To make an account, we can actually do a couple of different things. We can click directly on login up here, or we can go onto the browse page and have a look at some assets already and then log in via this button here. So since I'm already here, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm immediately met with this login dialog, but since we don't have an account yet, we have to register a new one. So I'm going to click on here and register a new account. And it's asking me what type of license I need. I'm going to choose individual, which has already been selected for me, because in most cases it is individual users at the moment. And it's asking for my personal details. Okay, so now I've filled in my personal information and I'm just going to click on register. And now I've got a pop-up saying registration was successful. Please check the activation link in your inbox and to note that it may have appeared in my spam folder. So let's go look for that now. Okay, so here you can see I've got this activation email and I can click on the link here and it's gonna show me a new window with this pop-up asking me to please log into my new account. So let's do that. So I filled in the details of my new account here and I'm gonna press login. And I can tell that it's logged me in successfully because I've got this little person icon here in the corner. So now we can get started. Right, so before we get started, we've actually got to top up our account with credits in order to be able to buy assets. So let's click on the buy credits section here. And as you can see, I'm only being presented with the individual option because when we registered, we selected that we wanted an individual license. So now I can choose what type of credit pack that I want, and I can see here how much it costs in euros and also how much per credit I'm charging. So if I click on buy credits, I'm met with this dialog asking me to specify where I'm located. So I'm going to give my zip code here and click continue. And in this case, I actually made a coupon, especially for this tutorial. Unfortunately, you can't use it when the tutorial is over, sorry, but for the purpose of demonstration, it's going to give me a full discount. But normally you can give in whatever bank details or PayPal or whatever your preference is, and I'm going to just click on complete checkout. Okay, great. I got a response saying thank you for your order. That's gone through, and I can see up here that I've got this little 50. That's an indication of how many credits I have. So if you would want to go back and buy more credits at any point, this number would change according to how many credits you have, and also once you buy assets, it's going to change accordingly. Right, so before we go mad buying loads of stuff and shopping for whatever our heart's desire may be, I just want to briefly outline the search categorization and methodology that Aixterior employs, which we hope makes the search process and finding accurate reference, etc., far easier and more user-friendly. So I'm just going to outline that briefly. So I just have my standard browse view here. For those of you who are not already familiar with Aixterior, I just want to go over these different search fields briefly. So to start off with, we've got our type search field, which is just categorizing the different types of assets. So ATL stands for Atlas, which is this 2D map, which can be used as a texture or turned into a 3D object later. An OBJ, meaning a 3D asset. An MAT or mat, meaning material, which is one of these little shader balls here. And a HDR, if you're not familiar, this is what those generally look like as a preview, which are our skies or places. But if I just return to the browse page again, I also want to talk about the difference between packs and biomes. So for some people, this can be kind of confusing because it seems like the same thing. But basically our thinking behind this is that packs are curated by us. These are groups of assets that are logical for us or feel like they would be useful to kind of have together. Different types of categories for assets that are maybe not the most scientifically accurate, but are very useful for creating a immersive 3D scene. Whereas a biome would be a more scientifically accurate methodology of grouping assets. So a biome would basically be grouping something by where it is in the world, and in this case it is by where we scanned that thing in the world. So just to use an image to help demonstrate my point, this is a scientific illustration. I'll include a link in the description from where we got this from. But as you can see, it's just a color-coded map that has colors corresponding to different places in the world and what those things are called. These are the exact wordings that we are using so that users can basically find more accurate information about a place they might be looking to recreate, or general information about the conditions of that environment, all that kind of stuff. So it's just supposed to allow users to have a more scientifically accurate and believable experience when creating a 3D world. And then if we return to our standard browse page again, categories are just a general collection of terms that we felt would be useful to have on hand. In addition to this, you can also type specific words in and find them that way. So there's a bunch of different ways to find assets. So now that we've covered all the different ways that you can find and search out specific assets, let's start getting into the nitty-gritty details. So if I just click on the asset that is right in front of me here, as you can see, I've got this zoomed in version of the asset with this nice little slider here. And I've got some weird looking text and some other less weird looking text. So this jumble of letters and numbers is the unique identifier given to each asset. This allows us to be able to keep an accurate database of everything, but it also means that if you ever encounter a problem or have questions about a specific asset, you can give us this identifier and we'll be able to know exactly what you're talking about. The 8K refers to, you guessed it, the resolution, which also correlates down here. So 8K means that this is available in up to 8K for this specific asset, which you can also see on this dropdown down here. And the 11 by 18 by 11 refers to the actual real world size of this asset. So it's teeny tiny. If I would want to purchase this asset, I can see that it costs 8 credits up here. And I can also tweak my download settings. I'm going to go into the specifics of these types of maps at a later date, but we actually provide workflows for both offline and real-time rendering. So as you can see here, you can check for LODs. You can just customize these maps to whatever workflow you prefer. For now, I'm just going to leave it on the default and press purchase. And it asks me if I want to purchase this particular asset and if I want to pack and download with the current settings. So I'm just going to click confirm. And now it's preparing, so I need to wait a second. Okay, so my asset finished preparing and it automatically started downloading this zip file. And herein you can see that all the content downloaded correctly in the zip file. For now, I'm not going to touch any of that. I'm just going to continue with the tutorial. Notice here that now I have this download button. Because I've purchased the asset already, I can download it again as many times as I want. This we felt was really important just to make users' lives a bit easier in case they ever change machines or anything like that, that you can just re-download the asset. And as you can see here, I have this nice little P circle, meaning purchased. And that also appears on the thumbnail of the asset, this solid orange circle, meaning that I've already purchased this asset. You can also see that my credits have changed to correlate to the 8 credits that I spent. And if I close this preview, I can now go to my assets and I can see that the mushroom also appears here. So that means that as I continue shopping, I can always come back to my assets and see exactly what assets I own all in one place. Okay, great. So with this, we should have covered all of the basic steps that you need to get started with Aixterior. I hope this was useful for you and stay tuned for the next tutorial. Thanks so much. Bye.